Dyslexics don't stim, or do we? Stimming is a coping mechanism for sensory overload. A lot of times it's linked to anxiety, but it's also used for individuals to improve focus and allow for self-regulation. I remember Googling this online, and what was amazing was to see that in Reddit, individuals had said, definitely dyslexics don't stim because it's just a learning difference. If you've been following my podcast, then you're well aware that dyslexia is actually a neurodiverse profiling. We are neurodivergent. So we do stim. And I always think it's interesting because when you first come across some information, you might be like, I don't stim. I definitely don't do that. I function to the highest ability around everyone I know. No one would ever know that I'm dyslexic, and I don't stim. I don't need to do self-regulation. And I want you to sit with the information I'm going to share next, because a lot of times when we sit with it and we become truly honest with ourselves, we realize that we do have these characteristics. We just thought they were just part of who we were, and we just thought we were normal. And while I use that word normal, I want us to realize that we are normal for ourselves, each and every one of us, but that we do have these characteristics, which takes us out of what someone would say is normal. But I want to follow up with that is that everybody stims to some degree. All right. So there's different types of stimming, and they are tactile, visual, auditory, vestibular or proprioceptive, which means movement, olfactory or olfactory, and cognitive. These are the different ways, kind of the categories that dyslexics stim. So for tactile or touch, we'll fidget, we'll rub, we'll stroke, maybe our arms, our fingers, our legs. We'll use pressure. So weighted blankets, we need to use that in order for self-regulation. We might hug ourselves. You might find that you actually embrace yourself. You give yourself a self-hug in times of anxiety or when you need to calm down. And skin picking. So this could be anything from scratching your skin to picking scabs to actually causing wounds. Visual stimming. It's focusing on movement. It's light manipulation and visual patterns. And within my dyslexia informed programs that are available on my website, I get into these a little bit and just share about how you can actually defocus your eyes to actually create visual stimming. Auditory, so that's repetitive noises and humming and repeating words. Vestibular, proprioceptive, remember that movement. So rocking, pacing, spinning, jumping. You got to realize that rocking doesn't need to be something so dramatic. It could just be shifting your weight from one foot to the next. And guess what? You're rocking. And if you're doing it in times of overload or anxiety, then you are stimming. Olfactory or oral. And that's chewing and biting and oral sensory. So I know an individual that they actually chew the inside of their cheek as a form of stimming. And they, for years, never saw this as stimming. They thought it was nothing, that they weren't doing anything wrong. There was nothing weird about it. But you got to look around. I don't know too many people who actually eat the inside of their cheek. Cognitive tasks. So that's doodling and rereading. Just think about it. With us dyslexics, how many times do you reread something? And a lot of times it could be for comfort, right? Just to settle your nerves. You got to realize anything you do that settles your nerves, reduces your anxiety, and brings you back into a state of balance is a form of stimming. So dyslexics do stim. We stim more than realize because we're not just a learning difference. We're not just a learning disability. We are a neurodiverse profile, and we are way more complicated and complex than society realizes. There is nothing wrong with us. We are normal for us. We are normal for dyslexics. And I don't want to be like anybody else, actually. I like being unique. And I think it's time we embrace our dyslexic uniqueness and we start to really stand strong in who we are, whether that is us masking, us stimming, or our strengths, or even our challenges. It's really looking at who we are as a whole individual and realizing that we are designed perfectly to experience the world as we do.